everyone, and welcome to Unity of Las Vegas. My name is Jim Lee, and I'm so glad that you're joining us today. Well, this is a special day. This day is devoted to Earth Day. Now, Earth Day is an international celebration to support the environment and to save our planet that we're living on. Yeah, we need to save it, folks. Right now, it's not doing too well. We as humans and the way that things are going, we are getting close to a tipping point of the sixth mass extinction. And we don't really want that. However, we've got to change our ways, baby, or else we will find ourselves in the extinction mode just like the dinosaurs. Well, on this Earth Day, the title is Moving Heaven and Earth. And that's exactly what we want. So open up your minds and open up your hearts today. We have a special reading from, not a special reading, but a special speech that's coming to you from Chief Seattle. We have music by John Jones. I will be doing the lesson, and Lisa will be bringing it on home with the meditation. Welcome to Earth Day 2021.
Good morning. My name is Don Fouts, and I am prayer chaplain with Unity of Las Vegas, and I am privileged and honored to be doing today's special reading. Chief Seattle was born in 1786, and his real name Europeans found nearly impossible to pronounce. However, it sounded like Seattle. Chief Seattle was taller than most native people, standing nearly 6 feet tall, and with his muscular build, he was a fierce and celebrated warrior. As a leader, Chief Seattle was known as an eloquent and persuasive orator. When he addressed an audience, his voice is said to have carried a great distance. What the chief is best known for is his wisdom. He recognized the inevitability of the coming tide of white settlements. In 1854, he made a speech incorporating the connection between the earth and humanity. The following reading is attributed to this occasion and has become part of many Earth Day celebrations. Chief Seattle's speech. The president in Washington sends word that he wishes to buy our land. But how can you buy or sell the sky, the land? The idea is strange to us. If we do not own the freshness of the air and the sparkle of the water, how can you buy them? Every part of the earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every meadow, every humming insect, all are holy in the memory and the experience of my people.
We know the sap which courses through the trees as we know the blood that courses through our veins. We are a part of the earth, and it is a part of us. The perfumed flowers are our sisters. The bear, the deer, the great eagle, these are our brothers. The rocky crests, the dew in the meadow, the body heat of the pony, and man all belong to the same family.
The shining water that moves in the streams and rivers is not just water, but the blood of our ancestors. If we sell you our land, you must remember that it is sacred. Each glossy reflection in the clear waters of the lakes tells of events and memories in the life of my people. The water's murmur is the voice of my Father's Father. The rivers are our brothers. They quench our thirst. They carry our canoes and feed our children. So you must give the rivers the kindness that you would give any brother.
If we sell you our land, remember that the air is precious to us, that the air shares its spirit with all the life that it supports. The wind that gave our grandfather his first breath also received his last sigh. The wind also gives our children the spirit of life. So if we sell our land, you must keep it apart and sacred, as a place where man can go to taste the wind that is sweetened by the meadow flowers.
Will you teach your children what we have taught our children? That the earth is our mother. What befalls the earth befalls all the sons of the earth. This we know. The earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. All things are connected, like the blood that unites us all. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a stand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. One thing we know, our God is also your God. The earth is precious to him, and to harm the earth is to heap contempt on its creator.
Your destiny is a mystery to us. What will happen when the buffalo are all slaughtered, the wild horses all tamed? What will happen when the secret corners of the forest are heavy with the scent of many men, and the view of the ripe hills is blotted with talking wires? Where will the thicket be? Gone. Where will the eagle be? Gone. And what is to say goodbye to the swift pony and then hunt, when the last red man has vanished with his wilderness, and his memory is only the shadow of a cloud moving across the prairie? Will these shores and forests still be here? Will there be any of the spirit of my people left? The end of living and the beginning of survival.
We love this earth as a newborn loves its mother's heartbeat. So, if we sell you our land, love it as we have loved it. Care for it as we have cared for it. Hold in your mind the memory of the land as it is when you receive it. Preserve the land for all children and love it as God loves us. As we are part of the land, you too are part of the land. This earth is precious to us. It is also precious to you. One thing we know, no man, be he red man or white man, can be apart. We are all brothers, after all.
Wow, that was cool. Nice job, you guys. A perfect tribute to this divine celebration of Mama Earth. Well, good morning, fellow Earth dwellers. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we see the Christ consciousness in each of you this morning. We're glad and grateful that you could be here with us. Make sure to hit those subscribe and notification buttons and share us with your families and friends, won't you? And join us after our service this morning in our community Zoom room. We'd love to see you there and catch up on what's happening in your corner of the planet. Stories that are passed from generation to generation create powerful foundations for who we become as individuals and how we shape ourselves as members of society. Singer-songwriters that tell stories through their music are some of the most lyrically prolific artists we've ever known, and they've literally shaped and molded me into what I've become. For me, it's been James Taylor, Paul Simon, Harry Chapin, and John Denver. It's time for a little movement meditation. This is a wonderful song to celebrate Earth Day. I hope you enjoy this one, written by John Denver, entitled Earth Day, Every Day. Celebrate morning, the cry of a loon on a lake in the night, dreams that are born in the dawn's early light. Celebrate morning, celebrate living, the laughter that sings in the heart of a child, the freedom that flies at the call of the wild. Celebrate living, celebrate evening, the stars that appear in the loss of the sun, whispering winds, we are one, we are one. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate land and sea, celebrate you and me. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate land and sea, celebrate you and me. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate land and sea, celebrate you and me. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate land and sea, celebrate you and me. Celebrate Earth Day, every day. Celebrate Earth Day, every day, every day.
Well, thank you all for the very special reading. First of all, we had Don, we had Edgar, we had Ziggy, and we had Lisa. Yay! Great job with the special reading. Then we had John Jones. I want to thank you for your Earth Day song and all the songs that you do every week. Excellent. So on this Earth Day, I want to start off with, in 1968, the Apollo spacecraft circled the moon, and when it came up to the moon and it looked over, there was a picture taken of the Earth rising in the distance. That was a potent, powerful picture from this Apollo mission. And Neil deGrasse Tyson says this changed everything when we actually saw the Earth in all of its magnificence. And when we did, there were no boundaries, there were no countries, there were no disputes. It's just like we were all on what we might call the third rock from the sun together. Paul McCartney's song, Imagine, was real. In fact, you didn't have to imagine it because you saw the earth with no boundaries and no borders. Now, this photo, it did something else. It like awakened the consciousness in people, so to speak. And by 1970, Earth Day started. Now notice, it wasn't International Day or United Nations Day. It was Earth Day. And oh my goodness, after that, we've had multiple government agencies who have set things in laws and policies, and we have done a lot of good things to like turn this tide and make awareness of the earth. However, our planet is still dying. With all of that, it is still headed for a mass extinction. So, what are we going to do? And especially, what are we going to do? I would call as this new thought people, the people that are into spirituality. What are we going to do? And now, there's some people that are out there doing the protests, and I support them, and thank God they're doing it. And there are a lot of people who are doing all kinds of things to make awareness known, and I just love their activism. But that's not what I'm talking about us doing today. I want to come at it from a different angle because we are truth students and light workers, and we can make a difference, but our difference is a consciousness difference. And in this consciousness difference, we are going to do like the first part of the Lord's Prayer. When it says, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So this is what we're trying to do, is to bring heaven into earth. And yes, I know you think I don't know if that's possible. It is possible. Especially it's possible in consciousness. And before we get into the spiritual part of it, I want to take a look at the science, and in particular, a quote from One Cosmos Under God by Robert Godwin. And what he says, based upon scientific evidence, it is no longer possible to avoid the conclusion that our perceived world of separateness and fragmentation is only superimposed on a more fundamental, seamless web of subatomic activity, a vast realm of unbroken wholeness. The universe is intrinsically interconnected, and it is an undivided whole. In other words, he's saying there is no possibility of a detached, self-contained, local existence. Now, science is coming up with this, and now since they've said it, we have the opportunity now to believe that everything is connected, everything is one, that we are one with everybody. We are, in fact, one with the earth, and the earth is one with us, and then we're attached to the entire universe, and all collaborating together in one seamless whole. But oh my goodness, to think it and experience it, that's a different thing. So now we're going to take a look at this from different points of view. And there's another book that I like. It's called Radical Wholeness by Philip Shepard. And he says, what the body most deeply knows is that it belongs to this world and shares a kingship with every part of it. So there is an intelligence, there is an awareness in our whole being that is totally aware and connected to everything that's going on. However, when we start to back away or detach from, quote unquote, what is with everything around us, we detach and disconnect from reality. Our view and perceptions become distorted, and some people, especially in the Course of Miracles, this is all an illusion because we're not seeing the real reality of the wholeness. Now, this is something that the Chief Seattle intuitively knew, that we are all one with each other, one with the earth, and one with all reality. Because of this wonderful, I would say, speech by Chief Seattle, I looked just to see how Seattle is doing since he came from there and all of that. And I ran across this documentary by a local KOMO news outlet. And it starts off by saying Seattle is bordered by beautiful mountain ranges and gleaming waters, and Seattle is one of the most desirable spots to live in the United States. However, recently, in the past few years, this documentary states that the city is giving way to rampant crime, homelessness, trash, and a destruction of the property and everything. And a lot of people saying it is a total disgrace. And so when I was looking at that, they were trying to find out all these ways that how do we work to it with eliminating this disparity with the homeless and the crime and the destruction of property and all of that. And everything that they were doing were good pieces, but there was a piece missing. And that is they were coming from a place of separateness and not of wholeness. Therefore, their actions and everything that they were doing was not in alignment with the coherence that the universe is and everything is looking for. So therefore, right now, they keep bumping up against what can we do? How can we do this? Is there a way out? This us against them, us against it, is not the way. This way of thinking and perceiving creates so much distortion that we can't even put in something in place that can be appropriate to meet it because we are out of alignment with what's really going on. And anytime we give in to this thoughts of feelings of separation, it constricts our ability to feel the presence living all around us and within us. Anytime we feel separation, we get caught up in fear, and there's a micro tensions appears in our tissues, and it diminishes the flow of breath, and we start taking shallow breathing, and then the sensitivity in our solar plexus or gut is like turned off, and our thinking of separation causes us to lose the quality of connection to everything that's all around us that's actually feeding us, but we've turned it off. So once we connect to this energy, then something else happens. We're no longer looking at this landscape through the lens of the ego, and we're caught up with fear and lack and limitation and saying, oh my goodness, how are we going to overcome this? The world is coming to an end. There's global warming. There is the challenges with the earth and challenges with the sea, and everything is going on. It seems like it's getting worse and worse. It doesn't seem like there is any way out. That is separation thinking, and like we're separate from all of this. Now our job is to remember, one, who we are, but the other thing is whose we are. So in order to do that, we've got to surrender. And what I'm talking about is surrender to the presence is surrendering to the present. I say it another way. Surrender to the present is a surrender to the presence. Take a look at this. And so I'm inviting us now to be open to this present moment, right here, right now. Be open and open up our hearts and the old way of being so that we can feel into an intimate association with everything that's going on around us, because now we're turned on an activation that allows us to be one with it. The goal is to shift our allegiance, shift our awareness from doing things to being it. Not eliminate the doing, but to have the doing coming from the wholeness of our being. Now this changes our relationship to everything. If we feel like we're one with it, if we feel like we're related to it, if we feel like we are a part of it and it's a part of us, that changes everything, changes where we're coming from, which changes where we're going, because now we can come up with an appropriate response to everything that's going on, because it's coming from wholeness and oneness, which is the real reality. And in that moment, we can start to shift to bring heaven in earth. Now, we're spiritual pioneers and we're up to doing some things, but this is going to create a stretch for us, because in order to do this, we've got to relinquish our separation thinking. We've got to shed the divisions that we have in our minds and hearts that distorts our life energy and the energy all around us. We got to let go what the mind thinks it knows and it feels like it has the right way. We've got to let all of that go and follow this wonderful heart-opening experience into wholeness. This is the way. Now, as we step into wholeness, it does not mean that we'll be shielded or prevented from having any grief, any hardships, any pain, any loss, any doubt. But it does mean that we are not alone in and through any of that. We are able to fall again and again into the present moment of the presence. And in that, we then can be carried into an energy field that will guide us in the direction. There's a quote that I like, and it says, "In the freedom of our surrender to being, we discover the security that is found in wholeness. There is no substitute for this." All right, so as we're going forward now, the path, as we're moving forward to bring this heaven into earth, we are now guided through love to tap into and to connect to everything that's all around us. Now, how are we going to do this? What I'm inviting us to do is take this on. Now, there's no instruction manuals on guide us on how to do this. There isn't a 1, 2, 3-step program and all of that. What we're going to do is I'm going to call it the 3 Ps. The 3 Ps. It's the 3 Ps. It'll do it. And it's called prayer, patience, and persistence. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this to unlearn the belief systems or all the BS deepens our minds and our bodies that's blocking our ability to experience wholeness. When we pray, I want us to do this. And it's not to beg, borrow, and beseech and all of that. What we're going to do is we're going to simply pray, I am one with the one. That's our prayer. So as we're going about through our day and we get caught up or hooked by things, conditions, the news or job situations or whatever we're going through in life, we just take a moment. We want to connect to the source. And our prayer is simply this: I am one with the one. Then the next thing is patience. What I mean is be gentle on yourself. Love yourself. This is being, not doing. So in order to do this, I'm just asking us to be patient and gentle with yourself. This is not time to be frustrated, upset. This is time to love yourself. It's using a new muscle, and we can do this. Then the other thing is be persistent. Persistence means to courageously journey into this unknown realm of the universe and our source over and over again. So when you fall down, you don't do it, you get angry, you get upset, and you look at being separate from your relationship with people, relationship with the world. It's okay. Dust yourself up. Get back in the game. Be persistent. Prayer, patience, and persistence. And so now, as we grow in this process, we are ready to co-create now with the Creator because we're aligned now with the impulse of the universe versus the egoic, separate thinking of the individualized self. And this journey into wholeness is a radical revolution that this entire planet is crying out for because what we have been doing really is not working. The Band-Aid approaches are slowing things up, but it hasn't stopped it. And so now, we are now privileged as light workers to liberate ourselves. And as we do with every time we move into this wholeness, we are removing the illusions within us, but also removing the illusions in this collective field consciousness, and more people can tap into the present moment, to the power of the presence. And as we individually, as light workers, lead the way, we're opening the doors for others. And now is the time for Ed. This is a very critical point in time in our life. This little blue dot in the universe is now ready to come forward in a magnificent way. The whole universe is conspiring to be with us, and it's our job now to feel that and to be with this so that we can collectively usher heaven in this earth. This is what we came here to do. This is our time. And so now, Lisa is now going to guide us into meditation because it's one thing to think it, but it's another thing to be it.
Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you've ever heard of, every human being who ever was, the aggregate of your joy and suffering, religions, ideologies, economic doctrines, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every young couple in love, every mother and father, superstar and supreme leader in the histories of our species lived there on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Carl Sagan says, "To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish this pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known." My God, what a fantastic time to be alive, with humanity on the tipping point and Earth hanging in the balance. This truly is a fantastic time to be alive because all the perfect people are gathered together on this planet to evolve us forward in a new and a miraculous way. We are here because we are the people who have what it takes to do this. We are not here by accident, and there are no victims. We are the people to bring awareness to our sense of connectedness with life and to embrace it all as sacred. So today's message is an invitation to celebrate this Earth Day differently. It's an invitation to dip into the deep waters of our connectedness and allow the wisdom there to inform how we are to be and what we are to do moving forward. Elizabeth Barrett Browning says, "The earth's crammed with heaven, but only he who sees takes off his shoes." So for today's meditation, let's become the ones who see. So I invite you now to find a very comfortable way of sitting and begin to focus on your breath. And just sensing this breath as a living elixir of life. And bring attention to how it is flowing so effortlessly in and out of your physical body. Your thoughts, your feelings and emotions, and your essential self. And sense the interrelationality of all parts of yourself. There are no good and bad parts. And there are no parts that exist outside of the connectedness of your whole being. Now sense your physical body as the grounding root system of the earth. Its beautiful geology, carrying the history of evolution for the planet. Sense into the majesty of its mountains and the steadfastness of its stones. The interconnectedness of the root system of the redwoods, strong and foundational. Sense into all of this as a living part of your being. And now feel the connection of your heart with the mighty oceans and rivers of the earth. Sense the legacy of our ancestors flowing in the shining waters that move in the streams, telling of events and memories in the life of our people. The water's murmur is the voice of our Father's Father. Sense your spirit in the wind, dancing with the leaves of the trees, flowing into every crevice of your being, sweetened by the meadow flowers. This wind that gave our ancestors their first breath and also received their last sigh. This wind that gives the spirit of life to our children and our children's children. Breathe in with and as this breath of life. Sense heaven living and moving in and through the earth. The joy of the Creator running through its veins and saying, "This is good and very good." Every shining pine needle, every sandy shore, every mist in the dark woods, every meadow, every humming insect. Sense into the holiness and sacredness of our beloved planet in the mind and the heart of God, and yourself as a living extension of it. Now reach back through time and sense the rich history of evolution of which we and the earth are a part. Our legacy, our heritage together. Sense into it as our backbone, our unshakable, unfailing support. And sense into this flow of legacy through the present, into the future, and allow the past, present, and the future to abide together inside of a living now. Sense into the flow of evolutionary wisdom in this living now, telling us how to be and what to do to restore, to regenerate, to heal, and consciously evolve. Feel the crystal clarity and the confidence in this knowingness. Take a moment now to just breathe in this beautiful knowingness. Sense into the generosity of this flow of wisdom, ever present and ever available. For this is the way it really is.
Yes, thank you, Lisa, for connecting us to an inner knowing of the wholeness so that we can move forward in a way that is sustainable and can heal this planet. It's time. We're ready. So thank you for joining us, and you can join us at 11 a.m. Pacific time every Sunday. Just go to the website so that you can be on this fellowship Zoom call. Would love to see you there. Also, if you are standing in the need of prayer, please call Silent Unity. Someone is there 24/7 to be with you and to support you in your prayer request. And the other thing is just thank you for all of your prayers and your support that's sustaining and maintaining this ministry. And thank you for your tithes and offerings that we are using to expand and to grow and to hopefully get better and better. And what we're inviting you to do is just go to our website, check on the donate button, or you can actually donate via text. God bless you. And so let's close out now with our wonderful prayer for protection that, in fact, was taken to the moon. And let's feel the closeness that we are to the divine so that we can start to experience the wholeness that's already here. As the prayer for protection comes up on the screen, let's say it together. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. Just know the presence of God is always there. And we are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is there, and all is well. God bless you.
Celebrate Earth Day every day. Celebrate Earth Day every day. Celebrate land and sea. Celebrate you and me. Celebrate Earth Day every day. Celebrate Earth Day every day.